Hello explorers and welcome to another video. Today we're gonna talk about Windows 11 and VirtualBox. And if I switch over to my screen here, what you see here is impossible because VirtualBox does not have a TPM module. My module or my CPU and motherboard doesn't have a TPM module at all. It's a very old system. I think it's like 3 to 5 years old. So of course it doesn't have these newfangled things, and still I can virtualize and run Windows 11. So it took a lot of work. It was a big hassle. But it was mostly because I wanted to use a VirtualBox. I didn't want to use any extra peripherals or anything like that. I just wanted to use VirtualBox. So what I did was that I created an extra disk for my builder. So I have a different drive here that I call the builder. So I created an extra disk for that and set that specific disk drive as a USB external drive. And then I could use this program called Rufus in order to create new install media from the Windows 11 install media. And what you do is you pretty much select an ISO with Windows 11, which I downloaded from Microsoft. And after you have chosen that, you choose a specific device, and then you can start the process of writing it over to your USB stick. But you need to be able to set a bunch of values on this specific install. So you have this Windows standard installation, and then you have GPT as your partition scheme, UEFI, and then NTFS. And when you start this, you will get a couple of questions here. You can say that I want to remove the requirements for more than 4 gigabytes of RAM, secure boot, and TPM. You can remove the requirement for an account. You can create a local account with a specific name. Set Daniel here. Set the region options as the same value as the current logged in user for this machine. This is a Windows 10 machine. Disable the data collection, so skip all the privacy questions. And disable BitLocker for automatic device encryption. So when you've done that, you will run this and you will have a USB stick that you can install Windows 11 with. Pretty good. And if you have a real machine that you want to install it on, it's just fine. But in my case, I had this VirtualBox. So then I had a drive with a bunch of files on it, and I wanted to create install media from that. And I tried this image burn, didn't work at all. So I needed to use a Microsoft tool called OSD something. And this OSD thingy is in the ADK for Windows 11. So you need to download that, and then you will get this OCD image exe with a bunch of parameters in order to run that. So I tried to run that directly on this drive. It did not work because there is a hidden directory here that it crashes when that is available. So I copied all of these files over to the ISO directory on my C drive, and then I could run this little script here where I replaced the beginning of the script with ISO instead of what they wrote in their script. And also I had to point out a specific path because I didn't put this program that I'm going to use once in my path. So this script here is pretty much run this exe file, and then you have a couple of options here. I see here that you have UDFI version 102, and the boot data should be this specific EFF boot file that you need to find. And then you have some PEF data here that you go to this EFI system bin, and then where all the other ISO files are available, and then the ISO that you want to write out. And when they are done that, the only thing you need to do next is to SCP it out to a machine that has SSH access to, or you can SCP it to or download it in any other ways you get it out of your system, and then you can just use it as a CD-ROM in a new VirtualBox environment that you install. And the install process was very quick. It just ran through. I think I got one question at one point that I had to answer. Otherwise, it was a seamless install. So you didn't have to answer a bunch of different questions about regionality or anything like that. So I think that experience of installing Windows was much smoother and more interesting and better for the user. But of course, you have some missing things in this operating system. You don't have the full functionality, and you get some bloatware and so on. So it's not the perfect solution, but it's at least a better solution for installing Windows 11. And I have a Windows 11 install now, and I just installed it because I was curious if I could run virtual environment in it. So I wanted to run Ubuntu in it. So I installed Ubuntu, tried to run that, and it tells me that no, you can't run this because virtualization is not enabled in your BIOS. It's not. It's available in my BIOS. It's available in Linux. I virtualize everything. I also have turned on so the virtualization is nested through. VirtualBox works perfect in all Ubuntu installations or other Linux-based installations that I have. Windows just don't like it. So I can't run Ubuntu in this Windows installation. But that is neither here nor there. I just wanted to go through how you can do this if you have a system that doesn't have a TPM and so on, and you still want to try Windows 11 out. This is a way to do that. I hope that you found this interesting. I hope that you learned something today. If you liked this video, give it a like, share it with your friends and colleagues. If you have any comments or suggestions, leave them down in the comment section down below. And if you haven't subscribed yet, please do that. And I really hope to see you in the next video.